Everyone. Thanks again for joining us. This is the second in our series on mobile technology as a follow-on to our first discussion where we talked a bit about the technologies, the market drivers, customer needs that are needing to be addressed with mobile technology. In this particular session, we're going to talk a bit more about how people are using mobile in practical application experiences. So we're going to talk about various use cases, and we will close with a couple of quick demos to show you how this technology can be used not only for yourselves but in practical application, how you can use it easily and efficiently. So without further ado, let's get moving on. Tim? So just give you a little bit of a placeholder on who we are. Information Management Services, we've been in business now for about 33 years. We are both a premier partner of AVI software, and we're also one of the top 5 Kodak image integrators in the United States, which is why we have them highlighted here as supporters of this program. We do many things in the imaging marketplace, but most importantly, we are capture specialists. We focus a lot on the capture of the data as well as the images that customers use in their environment. We deal a lot with advanced capture solutions and provide the software and the services that allow you to integrate these products most efficiently in your operation. We take not only these products but work with your back-end repositories or other solutions that you may need to link them to integrate these systems. And we have an extraordinarily good track record where 98% of our customers continue to do business with us with renewal on service and maintaining their systems through us. So just as one slide that we want to use as a refresher from the last session we talked about, there are a number of drivers that customers have been looking at mobile technology to serve their needs, and we've kind of distilled them down to 5 separate areas. One is they've looked at mobile for the ability to easily access information. Everybody has a phone, everybody has, not everybody, but a lot of people have iPads in their daily use, and they want to be able to get to information quickly and easily, and they also want to be able to capture information quickly and easily, and which is the reason why mobile is becoming more and more involved in these areas. There's also the concept of standardization. People today are getting information in so many different ways, email, they're getting it electronically in different forms and fashion, they're getting stuff by paper, getting sound bites, and so it's the idea that we want to be able to, and they're getting them off of different platforms, and there's a need more and more to standardize on how we collect this information and put it into our repositories for efficient storage and use of that information. Another huge aspect of the business that we have to focus on is compliance with more and more regulations on making sure we not only have the information when it's needed, that we keep the information away from people that shouldn't be touching that, whether it be HIPAA compliance or whether it be different Sarbanes-Oxley or other different compliance tools. The fact that more and more developers of mobile applications are helping us to meet the needs of compliance by making it easy and efficient and serving all of our needs for privacy and other things like that. One of the very important aspects of mobile is its ability to provide improvements in productivity and savings and efficiency in our operation. It's always a good scenario where we're at a point of collecting information, we have the necessary tools at our disposal, we can capture the information quickly and efficiently, and mobile does that for us in a very nice way. Finally, and it's probably the reason we do anything is obviously to make money in our businesses, but also to improve our customers' experience with us so that we can continue to maintain those customers and serve their needs for now and into the future. So today what we're going to do is we have so many different use cases we can focus on. We've tried to distill it down into a manageable number. We're going to talk about 5 different use cases today. The first that we're going to be showing you is an insurance claims processing application and how that customer has used mobile to efficiently and effectively save money and become more effective with their customers. We will be talking about a travel services application. We're going to be delving a little more deeply into accounts payable, one of our, I'm going to call it our bread and butter applications that has been served by imaging applications in the past, but mobile is becoming more pronounced in that application particularly. Laboratory services, the ability to be able to collect and distill the information for different medical laboratory reports that we may be getting on a personal as well as on a business level. And then finally, we're going to talk about business expense reporting and ways we can capture and collect information there. So starting off with the insurance claims processing application, an example in this case is it's a very large insurance provider that they sell their product through various auto dealers. So they're selling automobile insurance policies direct through the car dealer, and as a result of that, this is an insurance company that is getting a large growth in their business, but there's an amount of paperwork that's coming in from those auto dealers. So as a result, they found the need to have to reduce the time for adjudication of claims because their claim volume with their business volume was growing so quickly. And they wanted to be able to boost the productivity of their employees because they couldn't add staff quickly enough for the amount of growth in their business. And again, at the end result, they want to be able to increase their customer satisfaction while the growth was occurring. So what they found is through use of a mobile solution is that they were able to get early access to information. If a customer had a claim, in the past the customer would call the insurance agent, the agent would have to come out with an adjuster, and there'd be a lot of time spent, paper would be generated to even get that claim, created in the system, and then, paperwork would start flowing from there. And what they found was users were able to either, in the beginning of the process, to capture information on the contracts that they were signing even before they became a customer, and then when claim information was needed, I need to take a picture of the dent on my car, or I need to be able to take a picture of the person who hit me, so I want to get their insurance card captured or maybe their driver's license. They're able to do that via mobile interface and send that information directly to the claims operation, so information was coming in almost as it was happening. They're also, as a result of mobile, because information was getting there quicker, they were able to adjudicate information faster, they were able to see productivity savings in the amount of documents that were handled, because they were handled now only once. Paper wasn't coming in through the mail, somebody was sorting it out, putting it into a folder, and then having it captured through a scanner or some other form. They were able to get a document electronically, they were able to handle it only once, and they were able to put it into the claims processing system in a matter of moments rather than in a matter of days. And finally, with their ability to handle more transactions with the same amount of individuals in their organization, they're able to improve the customer experience. Not only were things happening faster, but they were able to also, by building a web-based application, they would update information real time. Your picture of your accident had been captured. We've inputted it into the system. The system would automatically notify the user that that information was in the system and it was working through the process whenever they went onto the web application to see where their claim was in the entire flow. So another example of mobile and how it has been beneficial to customers is in the use of travel services. In this particular situation, it was the idea that oftentimes for international travel, it's a lot more work than just saying, I'm going to take these flights and I want to pay this amount of money on these days. Whenever you're making international reservations, there's information on your passport, and if you're traveling with others, getting the information from their passports. So you're clicking a lot of buttons and putting a lot of information to make that reservation complete. So the problems that people were running into were the time to input this data into the system was fairly challenging because sometimes you might be looking at a rate for an airline reservation, and by the time you input all the data and you say, yeah, I want to book it, that rate may no longer be available. Or you put in the data and it's incorrect. You haven't put in the right middle initial, or you haven't put in the right date of the expiration of the passport, and it creates a problem for the traveler. So as a solution, the mobile technology, and we'll show a little bit more of this in a second, is if we can standardize the input of that data, we'd be able to have that data input into the traveling system more efficiently, and it would be consistent so that there would be no data errors in the input of that passport data and the traveling passenger information. Also, there's extraordinary productivity savings from the standpoint that the information is captured quickly, it's captured correctly, and we don't have people that are on a site wanting to make a reservation and then saying, oh, there's just too much work here, I'll do it later, and maybe not ever booking that flight. So they're able to have savings of first-time folks coming in, looking at a flight and making that reservation, so you get the business first time every time. And finally, there's the improved customer experience, because I'm on a site, I see a flight I want, and it's not a painful task for me to book that flight and to put all my information in a quick and efficient manner. So as an example, here's kind of pictorially how this application works, is a passenger might be looking at a flight and they go to the information page now where they've got to input all their pertinent customer data. What they're able to do now in the next step is they're able to say, oh, let me get my passport out. They're able to take a picture of their passport, and then what happens is the software that's available to them will recognize the passport. It says, oh, not only does it know it's a passport, but it also has enough intelligence to say this is a passport of a United States citizen or of a citizen from the United Kingdom or whatever country they're from, because every passport is a little bit different, and it's able to pull the data from that specific passport to be able to fill the data into the system so that their name, and all the other pertinent data is filled automatically and quickly and efficiently. So tremendous cost savings available, and it also allows you to do it in a way that makes people wanting to come back to that site again for that experience in the future. So at this point, I am going to turn this over to Tim, who's going to show a couple other use cases and a presentation on this for us. Tim?
Thanks, Mike. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. So I want to talk about a couple additional use cases that are out there for mobile. Accounts payable, as Mike said, is really kind of a bread and butter for us and for a lot of people, because this is certainly an area that every company has to deal with to some degree. And as everyone is going through this, they realize that invoices come into your organization through any number of ways. Most people today have a centralized AP system, an AP center, but they don't always receive the invoices directly to that center. Sometimes it comes to a remote office or to a regional office or to an individual. Sometimes they come by paper, sometimes by fax, by email. So there's all kinds of stuff coming in. And so the challenge is to capture that information quickly as soon as you have it, and also trying to standardize the way to get that stuff into your ERP and into your approval process so that you can get it paid. So one of the solutions, the way that mobile solutions can help that is, first it's going to give you early access to the data. So now you actually have the opportunity to capture the invoice the first time someone in your company touches it. So if you've got someone in the field and they receive an invoice in to them by paper, or they're handed an invoice at a regional office, all of a sudden now you can capture that with mobile immediately and start it through the process, just like that piece of paper had arrived already at the home office. So you really can cut down the amount of time it takes to get that invoice into your ERP and process. Second, it allows for some standardization. Now you can kind of use this along with some other parts of systems to make sure that every document coming into your AP system is coming in the same scan type format, whether it's a TIFF or a PDF. You can require that certain pieces of metadata are attached to that particular invoice. So if it's coming from someone in the field, if you need them to add a GL code or a project number or anything like that, they can attach that information and include it with the image as they submit it for the workflow process. It gives you some sense of compliance, and I use this compliance word in a number of ways, but mostly it's going to let you know easily who touched this invoice, who submitted it, and when they did submit it. I heard a couple stories from our customers about remote offices, calling the home office and complaining that, the lawn care service is no longer coming out to mow the grass because their invoices are unpaid. And it turned out that remote office was mailing the invoices into the home office. They were going to the wrong place, but it just caused a lot of problems. So here's a way of looking and say, hey, why is the lawn care company not doing our grass? You now can go right to the system and do an audit and say, well, you've not been submitting these electronically like we've prescribed to do. So it gives you a lot more useful information, and it helps you track better what's going on in your business. It obviously has some productivity savings. If you were receiving paper documents in and mailing them in, you're eliminating that. You're also eliminating a lot of the manual data entry, because you can tie these to some of our more advanced systems and actually read the data off of those invoices. So not only can you eliminate the chance of losing those things in the mail, but you also can eliminate all the data entry that's taking place once it gets to your home office. And finally, you've improved your, in this case, I'm going to say, vendor experience, not necessarily customer, but you've got a clearer picture of your overall financial situation when you have those invoices immediately into your system. So by doing that, you have the information available to you. You can take advantage of discounts, and you also can make sure that you're maintaining a strong vendor relationship by making your payments back to them on time. In business, everyone depends greatly on the vendors that they work with, and so you want to make sure that relationship is solid. And nothing makes a relationship between a vendor and a customer worse than a slow-paying customer or a non-paying customer, which can cause types of issues within the production, manufacturing, just getting the things that you need. So that's kind of the use case of accounts payable. And this is just a general drawing of what a lot of accounts payable systems look like. So today things come into your system by PDF. People email them to you. Maybe they upload them to you. You're getting paper-based documents as well. You may be capturing them with an MFP scanner or a regular scanner, web capture. But you also now can add this mobile capture to this process. So now, no matter how the documents come into you, whether it's by email or by paper or by the web, you're grabbing these things as soon as you can, and they're all being implemented into the system in the same way. So in the more automated systems, that goes in and you can read the data off of that, you can do corrections with it, and then quickly get them into your ERP or your approval workflow. So that's accounts payable. That's something that a lot of people are studying very closely, how to implement mobile into that technology in conjunction with these other types of advanced systems. The second case, this is more of an interesting one than maybe a business-to-business type application, but this is for lab services. So all of you probably have gone to your doctor and had a physical, and they do blood work, and they send you back your lab results, and you get that sheet that we all have that has about 50 abbreviations on it, and it tells you what your number is for that particular test. And then it says you should be between this number and that number. Of course, if you're like me, I don't know what any of those numbers mean because I'm not really sure what most of those abbreviations mean. So it is pretty confusing. So as I said, it is a challenge. You get those, and if there's something that you are concerned about, you may look up exactly what it means. And if you're outside the normal and something, you may look it up to see what's going on. But it's an interesting use case here that said, what if we could take those lab results, let you take a picture of them with your phone, and then it would use OCR to read those results and then include them into an interface that made sense, maybe give you a description about what that particular test is for, and maybe tell you a little bit about where you are in the range, and if you're too high, why that's bad, or if you're good, what that involves. And it's really just kind of interesting. So, here's the standard test that you're looking at. And this is not supposed to be an eye exam. It is blurry to start with. But you've got your treatment here, whatever they were checking for, here's your number. And so what you can do here is after you've scanned this with your phone or took a picture of it with your phone, if you want to look closer at the RBC, it tells you it's your red blood count, tells you it's your number. In this case, it's red because it's low. And here it gives you some instruction that, if it is low, what the potential problems might be. And of course, they're telling you to call your doctor here, which is not good. But again, this is just an interesting use case of the technology that's available today, from the mobile capture all the way through some of the more advanced OCR engines and things you can do on the back end of this to come up with something that's useful, something that's helpful. So then our last use case is one that all of you probably deal with, and that's expense reports. Most everybody has a need to process them. You may only have a few at your organization, or you may have a few thousand, just depending on the type of business that you have. A lot of times, even today, this is being done in paper format. Some companies have implemented some scanning, but this mobile part is really starting to take hold, because now the person can use it in a much quicker and easier way. So you want to try to get the expense reports into your system, reviewed and paid, and it helps your relationship with your employees when you have that good system for that to work. The challenges are many. A lot of companies are still using paper. That means there's a lot of paper to keep track of. That means that the manager has to sort through all the paper and take a lot of time figuring out this is a real expense or an expense that should be paid by the company. So what the mobile solution can do is it gives you some early access to the data, because now I can, as I'm going along through my day, if I have an expense that needs to go to my expense report and I have my phone, I get the receipt, I take a quick picture, and I'm done with that one. And that way it's being done. I'm doing this as we go along, and then when the deadline to submit is ready, then those documents are all there, ready to go for my expense report for that particular time period. So by having that early submission to it, and by simplifying that process, we're going to eliminate, the late numbers or the lost expense reports. It also lets you standardize those expense reports, so now you're receiving those images all exactly the same way from your employees' phones. So you're getting, instead of a mixture of paper and, some people have scanned images and different things, you're able to standardize how that is being submitted. And also you're going to reduce a lot of time in getting that stuff entered into the system, and you're going to reduce a lot of time involved around, the review process by your managers. So at the end of the day, I know here at our company, when people get their expense reports paid on time and accurately, they're very happy. When their expense report is not paid on time or inaccurately, they're not. So this is a way to greatly improve the chances of that happening on a regular basis. So again, that's a very important part of why we're using this in the technology we have. So when we did the last one, I did a couple quick demos, and we're going to try to do that again today. One is about on expense reports, and one is just in general about uploading invoices. So I'm going to start a program that hopefully will mirror my phone. There we go. So now you see my phone, I hope, and my cute granddaughter. So the first one we're going to do is an expense report. So it's really pretty simple. If I've got a receipt, which I do here, I'm going to capture that receipt. Use this photo, and then I'm done. So now it's recognizing my receipt. That means in the background here, OCR is at work trying to read the data off of the receipt. And it says, yeah, we've recognized it. You want to look at it, make sure it read it correctly. And as you can see, it says my vendor was Speedway, and it was my gas receipt for $31. And when I'm done, that document is then uploaded to our expense system or your expense system or whatever process that you're using. So this is a great way to improve how people get their expense reports captured and implemented. And you're also reducing all that data entry where you used to have to write all that stuff down into a spreadsheet or into a system, whatever you might be doing. So that's one of the real true-life practical applications. Second one is one we talked about with invoices and remote capture of those. So I'm going to go to a different application, show you a little different flavor of how you do that. So this is a product from Kodak that allows you to really capture any kind of document for any type of program or whatever you might be doing. I'm just using invoices here as a demo. I'm going to use a new form. You can have multiple things that you can be scanning for. So I just click on that button. I try to hold this still. I can hold my phone a little closer. There we go. So now it's processing the images. And that's done. You can see my image there. I can click on it. You can look at it, make sure it works. This is a nice example because this is one of our invoices for snow removal. So again, if you've got remote offices or regional offices, these are things that you may not be getting the invoices directly to the home office. They may be contracting locally to do these kind of things. They may be leaving this invoice like they do here. They drop these invoices off at the office. So it makes it easy to do. I can look at it. It looks good. I can then edit it to get ready to send it in. It could require me to put an account number. This could be a GL code. This could be a project number. This could be my store ID, whatever it might be. So I just type in those numbers and hit upload. And that document is on its way into the system just like every other document that you may have scanned in or done. So there's just a couple quick demos showing that the capture of documents and some of the things that can be done with them. And I think with that, Olivia, we've kind of come to the end of our presentation. So do we have any questions, or I'll turn it back over to you and you can work your way through that.
Okay. Currently we don't have any questions that came over the chat. So at this point, I'll just go ahead and unmute everyone and feel free to ask any questions. Okay. All right. Well, if anybody has any questions later on that just occurs to you after the presentation, feel free to reach out to us. You can respond to any email that I sent you. It'll come right to my email inbox, and I will get right back to you. All right, and check your email later on. It'll probably come to you tomorrow. I will have that recording on our website, and that way you can feel free to share that or look it over later. And thank you all so much for joining us today. I hope you learned some valuable information, and stay tuned. We will have another event in this series next month. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye now. Thank you.